Greetings, my dear viewers. It is I, Jerry Hon, and welcome back to another Dungeons & Dragons character conversion. This is part 2 of my viewer request from Tuesday, where I took on Batman, Bruce Wayne to be more specific. Today is Batman Terry McGinnis, from the Batman Beyond TV series, as well as the Batman Beyond Return to the Joker movie, and the attached comic book series, Batman Beyond. That's right. If you did not know, one of the greatest DC TV series has an attached comic book series, which I have, listened to a couple of the chapters from that comic book series because of another YouTube channel, and it is excellent. Anyway, if you do not know what Batman Beyond is, it is one of the greatest DC TV shows from when I was growing up. It was Batman Beyond, Static Shock, and Teen Titans. The original, not Go. Go is stupid, it is trash, it does nothing for child development. Anyway, let's not rant about idiotic reboots. Let's talk about Terry McGinnis. Now, Terry McGinnis is the future Batman of New Gotham City. He was a delinquent for a good chunk of his life, but became reformed when he returned to high school. Even got a girlfriend. And one day, after a fight with his father, Terry had ran into a gang based off the original Joker called the Jokers. And after facing off against them, he ran into Bruce Wayne and found out that Bruce Wayne was the original Batman. After this, Terry's father was killed, supposedly by the Joker's gang. But he later found out it was a hit from a very big organization. I'm going to try not to spoil too much, but that's as far as I'm getting, up to the part where Terry takes the bat suit and becomes the new Batman, after being able to persuade Bruce. But yeah, it was a great series. It and Static Shock actually tackled a lot of issues that teens faced. Not like today, when it's just nothing but propaganda. I'm getting into another rant. Let's not do that. Let's build Terry McGinnis, Batman Beyond. Starting things off with the point-buy system for our stats, we have a 10 in our Strength and Constitution, 12 in our Wisdom, 13 for Charisma, and 14 in Dexterity and Intelligence. Terry was beyond average intelligence after all. For race, we're going into human, and this is going to be the only real spoiler I'm going to get to give you all. According to Amanda Walker, yes, that Amanda Walker, there was a special project for Cadmus called Project Batman Beyond, Budum Ching, where after Bruce decided he was going to retire, Amanda Waller took some of Bruce's DNA, without consent, of course, and went to Terry's father, and in the disguise of a vaccine of some kind, implanted cells that would change Mr. McGinnis's reproductive cells, so that any children Mr. McGinnis would have would legally, genetically be Bruce Wayne's children. And if you're wondering, hold on a second, Terry has a younger brother. If Amanda Walker changed Mr. McGinnis's reproductive cells to be Bruce Wayne's reproductive cells, wouldn't that also mean that the younger brother is also Bruce Wayne's biological son? And to that, I say yes. So that means Bruce Wayne technically has 3 biological sons. Damian Wayne, Terry McGinnis, and Terry's younger brother, whose name escapes me. But this is why we are going into human variant, because it's a variant of human, genetically altered to be a specific thing. So that's why. Enough of the spoilage. Onto the stats. We're going to increase dexterity and charisma each by 1. We're going to grab the persuasion skill, a reference to Terry McGinnis persuading Bruce to become the second Batman. We're going to grab the feat known as Athlete, which will increase our dexterity by 1 more point, rounding it up to a 16. Background, we're going to go with the faceless background. Much like with Bruce Wayne as Batman, Terry McGinnis is the new Batman of New Gotham, which the faceless background really doesn't do much for Terry, since he acts the same way as Batman as he does Terry McGinnis. He just puts on a mask, that's it. So, in all honesty, you could use a different background for Terry, and it would work just fine. We're just going with the faceless to get the skills Deception and Intimidation, the Disguise Kit, Proficiency, 1 new language of choice, the faceless persona, and the feature Dual Personalities, which again, he doesn't really have. Moving on to class, we're going to start things off with a rogue. We remember that Terry was a delinquent, so it would make sense for him to be a rogue. He was even part of a gang with one of his old friends. That was another spoiler, my apologies, but it's part of the character, I've got to mention it. Go watch the show. It is perfect. And also go watch Static. I might do a character conversion on him. Hit die 1d8. Since we don't have a constitution modifier, we get to start out with only 8 hit points, which is fine. For your skill proficiencies, grab acrobatics, athletics, deception. Oops. Hold on. I just realized that I already had deception. Hold on. We need to change that to... Let's do sleight of hand. Sleight of hand and stealth. For your expertise, grab investigation and persuasion. Hold on. Oops. That's what I needed to do. Ha 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 ha. I'm so stupid. Come on. Not sleight of hand. We need investigation because we don't have investigation. There we go. Much better. Try that. Alright. Acrobatics, athletics, investigation, and stealth. For your expertise, go for investigation and persuasion. He did learn from Bruce Wayne, who was the original Batman, the original world's greatest detective. Alright, moving on. Level 2, Cunning Action for your Rogue. Level 3, you can now get a roguish archetype. Since he was a delinquent in a gang, the best one to go with is the Thief. We get fast hands and second story work. We also get steady aim thanks to Tasha's Cauldron of Everything. Level 4, Rogue gets an ability score improvement. Increase your intelligence to a 16. Now, we're going to go ahead and multi-class. We're going to multi-class into Artificer. Again, we are learning from Bruce Wayne, the original Batman. So we are going to need to be able to eventually create our own gadgets. Though we do have a partner later on. That's another spoiler, I'm not going to get into that. But we do need to learn how to repair our own Batsuit. So, that's another D8. Some weapon proficiencies in firearms, light armor, medium armor, shields, as well as thieves' tools and tinker's tools. Get magical tinkering, and some spell casting, which uses your intelligence modifier. Level 2 Artificer gets infused item. Level 3 Artificer, we're going with the Artificer Specialist Armorer again. But this is because the Batsuit, as we have seen in the show, when it's damaged, it has mechanical properties. It's not just a cloth suit. So it makes sense to go with the Armorer. So we get another armor proficiency in heavy armor and Smith's tools. For your Armorer spells, you get Magic Missile and Thunder Wave. You get Arcane Armor and Armor Model. You also get the right tool for the job just for being a 3rd level Artificer. Level 4 Artificer will get an ability score improvement or a feat. We're going to go with the feat Skulker. Level 5 Artificers get extra attack for being an Armorer. Level 5 Rogues get Uncanny Dodge. Level 6 Artificers get Tool Expertise. Level 6 Rogues get Expertise in Athletics and Acrobatics for this particular build. Level 7 Artificer, Flash of Genius. Level 7 Rogue gets Evasion. And level 8 Rogue gets an ability score improvement. Go ahead and increase your intelligence to an 18. And level 8 Rogue, go ahead and increase your dexterity to an 18. Level 9 Rogue gets the feature Supreme Sneak from the Thief subclass. Level 10 Rogues get an ability score improvement. We need to increase our strength, because we need to be able to jump from place to place. Can't do that with only a modifier of 0. So, increase to a 12. Level 11 we get Reliable Talent, which is actually pretty useful. Now we don't get to roll too low when making certain checks. And finally, we get Rogue level 12, which is another ability score improvement. Increase your strength to a 14. Now you should be able to jump from building to building, or even on top of buildings much easier, without the need of the Batsuit. Now that we're done with the build, let's go into the spell list, because Artificers do have some spells they can use. Roughly, we're using the same spell list that we had with the Batman video, but with a few changes. Cantrips, we're going with Message and Shocking Grasp for our cantrips. First level spells absorb elements, Featherfall, Jump, and Snare. For your second level spells, Dark Vision, Invisibility, See Invisibility, and Magic Weapon will work perfectly for the Batman Beyond. And with that, that is the end of this video. I do hope that you enjoyed. Next week, we are getting into the 100 subscriber special. So, stay tuned for that. I actually decided to change things up a little bit, so if you want to see what that is, make sure you wait for Tuesday's video. And with that being said, this has been Drayhan, and I am offline.